Hi y'all, I'm Emily, the volunteer coordinator with Sound Rivers, and it's summer. So for us at Sound Rivers, that means it's swim guide season. In one of my previous videos, I talked about what swim guide is, what we're sampling for, and how our team of volunteers make it happen. So I figured it was time to talk about what happens after our volunteers drop off samples. For this week's Tell Me About It Tuesday, we're going behind the scenes. Once all of the samples have been dropped off on Thursday mornings, we bring them into our lab to process. Our first step is to label and date all of the trays. Next, we get on our gloves and begin to process the samples. For our E. coli samples, we first pour off the sample to 100 milliliters. Then we add a reagent packet to the sample. The bacteria will essentially eat the packet and will cause any present bacteria to glow, but more on that later. Once the packet is dissolved in the sample, we then pour the samples into trays and send them through our tray sealer. Once all the samples are sealed, we place them into the incubator where they will stay for 24 hours. For our brackish samples, we use a similar process, but we dilute those samples. So using a sterile pipette, we take 10 milliliters of that sample and add it to a sterile bottle. We then add sterile water to go up to the 100 milliliter mark line and add a reagent packet. We dilute these samples to reduce high salinity in the waters that can cause interference or false positives, and to also bring down excessively high bacterial concentrations down to a more quantifiable range. And when we're reading the results, we account for this dilution. Following the same process of pouring the samples into trays and sealing them, they also go in an incubator for 24 hours. One day later, we finally get to read the samples. Remember how I mentioned that the reagent packets we add make any present bacteria glow? Well, this is their time to shine. We place each tray under a black light and we mark all the cells that are glowing, as it shows there is presence of the bacteria. Once we have marked each glowing cell, we count how many large and small cells were glowing and utilize this chart to find the sample's most probable number of bacteria colonies. We then use the EPA standard for E. coli in recreational waters to give each site a pass or fail rating for that week. Once we have all the data, it's time to share it with everyone. We add the data to our spreadsheet, we update the swim guide website and our map, we make sure we get the results to our local news outlets, film a results video, and send out our weekly swim guide results text. So now that you know the ins and outs of swim guide, keep your eyes peeled for this week's results at soundrivers.org.